Let's bring in our guest. Gentlemen, how are you?
Doing great, man. Thank you so much for having us on.
Doing awesome. Thank you so much.
No,
Hey,
thank you. Thank you for being here. So,
it's been a long time coming.
For real.
Yeah.
I remember we've talked on with Matt and then Lisa on Twitter since like 2021, so maybe even 2020. So it's super cool to finally be able to talk as face to face as we can get for the moment.
Right.
nice. I like it. So, for those of that are watching and don't know, fill us in on how Bury the Darkness became.
Yeah, so I'm Mark. This is Frankie. I play guitar. Frankie's our vocalist. He used to be our producer. So BTD started back in 2019 with myself, our bassist Brandon, our old singer Jared, and our old drummer John, friends from high school, and all shared the same love of music. I met our drummer back in orchestra and our old singer back in music theory, and all of us kind of went our separate ways after high school, and then all kind of reconnected and stuff like that a couple of years afterwards, and just started jamming in a basement. And within a month we wrote 4 songs and went into the studio to start recording our debut EP, which actually never saw the light. But we met Frankie in that studio. He was a producer in a different room, and we kind of just hit it off, and we started working on Break Me with Frankie, and that ended up becoming our debut single. And we've just been working with Frankie ever since, until he unfortunately lost his studio in 2021. And then we ended up bringing him as our vocalist after Suffocate came out. So this whole album that just came out is all Frankie on vocals, and our new lineup with Devin Bowers on drums and Brennan Davis on rhythm guitar, and then Frankie Galoni on vocals.
So, Frankie, tell me, going from the producer side of things to the vocal side of things, and still having to put that input in, how was that change for you?
It was kind of crazy for me because I didn't have. They kind of hit me what a curveball when they asked me to join the band. You know, I wasn't formerly a singer or vocalist. I was a guitar player, and so just them asking me to come join was kind of crazy for me. And so getting to do that, I think I kind of they wanted me to try out, and so I was like, all right, I'll try out. They told me, hey, we really think you could do it. We believe in you. And maybe at the time I was kind of like, there's no way I could do it, man. No way, And these guys kind of pushed me into it, and I'm glad they did, And I ended up being able to, I think, do a lot of this, like kind of, I had probably an easier easing into it because I've been able to work with some great vocalists over the years, just in recording and stuff. So I've been able to kind of be around them and really see what they've done in the past to get what they were looking for out of themselves. And, kind of hearing what they've, hearing the things that I've been able to, like, I guess, hear that are unique, I guess, kind of really helped me like understand what I should be doing vocally and what it should feel and sound like when I'm doing it. So when we ended up hitting the studio, these guys were just super supportive of me, and we were able to kind of put all our brains together and really write these songs lyrically with everyone in mind, not just like just one person. And so I thought that was pretty cool, and it was nice for me to be able to kind of scratch the itch of being a producer while also being able to kind of sing in the band and not just be in the background. It was really cool.
Frankie used to show me, he would write songs in the studio, and he didn't have anyone to do vocals on them, so he would just lay down vocal demos. And I was like, sounds pretty good, man. And he was just like, I'm never going to show this to anybody. So when we were kind of having creative differences with our old singer, and we made the decision to kind of move forward without him, Frankie popped back in my mind. I was like, it's going to take some persuading to do, but this guy believed in me when I was, deer in the headlights, fresh into this industry, played in bands, but never really took the recording side of our music seriously. And he took me under his wing. So I was like, you know what? I want to return this favor, and I know he can do it. And, he he stepped up to the plate. Yeah, I love this guy, and you know, we're super excited to be doing this together in the band. So
Nice.
That was going to be my question, was what was the catalyst? I didn't know. You're saying you had heard him demo some of his own material. I didn't know if it was that classic producer thing where he's sitting back and telling the singer like, no, do it more like this. And then he demoed it out.
Yeah.
And you're sitting on the side, you're going, well, damn, why don't he just fucking do it? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that kind of situation. Yeah.
It's nice being able to actually get up and do it though, you know, like I think way different about songwriting now. As a vocalist, it's crazy. You know, I never thought about it from the standpoint of the singer. It was always like, you know, you get the instruments there and then you write to that. So it was really interesting to be able to develop songs that way.
Well, unpack that a little bit more, because you were the producer, right? So you're used to guys coming in with, I would say, you know, 90 to 100% of the song already done. You tweak it a little bit, but now that you're saying you're the vocalist, what do you mean? What's the difference there? I'm
like
not
we were kind of like able to, instead of it being like, yeah, like, okay, we've got the bulk of the song written, let's record that, and then we'll write the vocals to that. Because a lot of the times, a lot of artists come into the studio, they really don't have their ideas down 100%. And as a producer, it's kind of my job to help them flesh out their ideas to the best of their abilities at that time. And a lot of that means I'm sitting with a vocalist, you know, going over melodies for hours on end, trying to, you know, see what's going to work well with the song, what's going to end up, you know, getting everyone what they want out of it, while also, you know, serving the song the best it can.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like I was a guitarist in a band before this. So I had worked with a producer who kind of helped teach me what I know, a couple producers actually. And so what we did with this record was we went in and basically the guy I took, because I'm new to, you know, being a vocalist, but I'm not new to recording. So we went in with Ryan Damonson, who I've known for, you know, almost a decade. And he's helped teach me a lot of what I know about recording and producing and stuff. And so having him there to kind of tell me, be that person for me that, hey, yeah, that was great, or no, that sucked, you know, having someone there to help me and not having to beat myself up and being able to just kind of deliver it vocally. That was what I meant by that. It's just very freeing for me mentally to not have to really beat myself up, but I got someone else there that's helping guide that journey, you know.
I know, like in football, people talk about it. Kevin, what college team is it? A&M has the 12th man, where they call the crowd the 12th person of the team on the offense, defense, whatever. It's kind of the same thing between the producer and the band. Now, obviously, you blurred the lines way big on that and ended up joining the band, which is cool. But it really is like the relationship there from every member, drummer, bass, guitar, whatever you play. But I think especially vocals, because it is such you're really kind of sharing yourself there when you're writing these lyrics and giving up a piece of yourself in its words. Somebody may not be able to, they can appreciate the guitar, but it's a little bit different than when you write something out that you really feel and then have to express that, right? The producer in the studio can really make or break that experience, right? So I guess you've seen it now from both sides.
Yeah, I've got a lot more, you know, any singers I've recorded in the past, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Okay. I didn't know.
It would be like, if you've never done it before, like recorded or anything, it would be like the equivalent of going in a room full of people and just like getting naked and standing there.
Oh yeah.
Like it would be the same thing.
Yeah. My first studio experience as a vocalist, like we had a control room full of people and I'm in there for the first time trying to sing, you know, so I know what that feels like.
Yeah, we were with our buddies that play in Dead, and they just opened up a recording studio, Trash Island Studios in Chandler, Arizona. So we were doing some songs with them, and, you know, we were in this whole transition, and Kyle from Dead, he was engineering, and Frankie goes in the booth, and he just blew all of us away. We were writing to a song that, you know, and Frankie's just in there, and he like kind of, because like all of us, a couple more people walked into the room and everyone was like, this is pretty good. Like, is this your guys' new guy? I'm like, yeah, like, you know, it's going well. And we were kind of like just talking and like, I guess laughing at one point. And then Frankie like overheard it in the booth and we thought we were laughing at him. So he's like, you know what? I'm going just all in on this. Like, and then he comes out and there's just like 8 people in the control room. And he's like, Oh,
Yeah,
like,
there was like 2 or 3 people when I went in to come out, and there was like 8 or 9
Well,
people in there. I'm like, whoa.
That's how much of a mind fuck it is, right? Because
Oh,
you're in a
yeah,
booth,
dude.
it's isolated, you've got headphones, you're exposing yourself, you don't realize it's like, you know, you're giving it your all, and then people just show up and all you hear is the laughing, and then it's like, oh, now it's me against the ego. They're
Oh, it
fucking
is,
laughing
dude.
at
Yeah,
me.
it's
They're laughing at me, I suck. And
yeah.
then you just spiral down, or like you said, you say, well, fuck it, let's light the earth on fire, I'm just gonna go all in and we'll see how this turns out. Come to find out they were digging it anyway. So
Yeah. I mean, you know, I walked out of the booth not really. I walked out of the booth expecting I mean, maybe with some vocal lessons or something, you maybe could,
right, we
but
tried
these
it,
guys-
man. Thanks.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
but
Yeah.
these guys were about it, and it felt really good to have that, because I didn't see that in myself at that point in time, and for these guys, I didn't want them to have to stop what they were doing. I'd been working with these guys since 2020, early 2020, and I was in a band. We were about to go on I'd been on a couple tours with them, a couple nationals with some bigger artists and stuff, and when coronavirus hit, it kind of killed that band, and we were about to go on tour with a huge legacy band in the industry, and that ended up just killing that in its tracks. And so when I had started my studio up and I met these guys, they were kind of newer. They had only been a band, I think, for what,
4 months.
Yeah, 4 months. And Matt, there'd been a couple of the members that had played their instruments like throughout their whole lives, but no one ever got in a solid band and tried to do it the real deal, And so when I met them, it was kind of like deer in the headlights a little bit, And so it's like, well, I just got done doing all this stuff, and I've been doing it for a long time now, it seems. So let me help you guys, so we recorded. And then was it a week before you were going to release Break Me?
It was, like 3 days.
It was like 3 days before they were going to release the song. And I was like, hey, so what are you guys doing for what's your budget for what are you guys doing to promote it? I haven't seen anything. It comes out in a couple of days, And they were like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. So Frankie pretty much was like, you guys need a lyric video and you guys got to get some money for ads. So I'm like, all right. So we scratch $500 together for ads and we get a lyric video made. And I pretty much go on just down the rabbit hole on YouTube of music marketing videos, and discovered this channel Burstamo, and just how to run Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, all of that kind of stuff. And just locked myself in my room for 2 days learning all this stuff. And then Break Me came out. I started running all these ads, and it started just picking up like a wildfire. And it started in Ukraine. And all of a sudden, one day we're just getting all these streams, and I'm getting all these comments on Instagram in Russian and Ukrainian and all this stuff. And I'm on Google Translate, wow, dude, they're digging it. They're really liking this over there. And it just started traveling west. And then it was Germany, and then it was London, and then it was New York. And then wake up one morning and we hit Release Radar and got 3,400 streams in the first day, which was it was the craziest thing that ever happened to us as a band. And just feeling okay, that sigh of relief that, wow, we have something here and we can do this actually. So that really boosted our morale to just go all in on this. And, it's crazy. Spotify, you guys were talking beforehand about the power of the internet and Spotify, and everyone always gets all mad at Spotify because you don't get paid much. But for new bands, and especially unsigned artists, it is the most important platform of the century. And just the fact that with a $500 budget, our song could be heard around the world and get streams, and it's almost at 1 million streams, which is still blows my mind that something that we made in a room has been listened to almost 1 million times.
And the budget only puts it in front of the people. It's up to them to listen to it. That's another thing. It's not like you're forcing people to listen to your song. We could spend I could throw $1,000 at it, and it's not going to guarantee me any amount of streams. It's just going to say, hey, we're going to show this to this many people, and maybe they'll click on it, maybe they won't. So it's the way that whole system works is kind of crazy to me, and especially now, because it's
TikTok and all that stuff.
The whole social media game changed after coronavirus, and now in a modern day band, you really, if you're not on social media, it's like you guys said, if it's not clean and concise across all platforms, and it's not easy for me to tell who you are. It's, you know, you're
just fighting yourself.
That's the first level of being stagnant. The second is not actually engaging with your fan base and developing a fan base on those apps and on things like TikTok. I do not have a lot of fun filming these TikToks. I don't have a great time doing it sometimes, but sometimes they're fun. For me, it's more or less like, hey, I want to do something creative with our music that, you know, these videos, there's other artists out there that are not just making millions of streams on their 30-second videos, but they're getting the people to come from that platform off to like Apple and Spotify and YouTube and actually get that to translate into real streams, which ultimately helps fund the band to, you know, help them make records and all that stuff. You guys,
everybody is extremely busy, and to get someone to take time out of their busy schedule and listen to something that we're doing, it's like we don't take that lightly. And you want to build those connections. You want, you know, the whole reason we do this is to, you know, really put ourselves out there, and we hope people can relate to what we're doing. So it's been amazing. Just the response that we've gotten off this record already is just blowing our minds. And it's, you know,
let's talk about your record. So your record, your debut album is 5 days old.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Dead Inside. I listened front to back. And I listened to the whole thing. I even wrote down a little Post-it note as I was listening of my favorite songs.
Oh,
that's awesome. Thank you.
I have to tell you, obviously Dead Inside for me was just absolutely raging banger. Oh my.
Thank you. That was the first song that was the first song that I ever fully did vocally ever as a vocalist. So that was a big one for me, as for sure.
Amazing. Also, as I was going through it, the other three that really I felt something: Obey, False Idol, and Gaslight.
The heavy,
especially very
stuff.
heavy.
Yeah.
And Gaslight, especially those lyrics for me, just clearly someone has had a close relationship with a narcissist.
Yeah.
And as I was listening to it, it was just, I mean, who hasn't, right? At some
I was going to say, haven't we all?
Yeah.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, listening to it, and it's so heavy, but your lyrics really connected with me. As I was listening to it, I was like, wow, you know, this is such like a textbook definition. It's almost like the video definition of what it would be like. I loved your album. I thought you did a tremendous job.
Thank you.
Lyrically, musically. And I got to say, for a band as young as yours, you're not doing that bad. You've got nearly 39,000 followers on Spotify. Go you.
Thank you.
Way to go. Like with the different,
do what we do.
Yeah, the social media platforms, the engaging with the fans. We've been talking for years. Doing all of those things is really paying off for you. I definitely applaud you in that effort because it's just as important as the music that you're putting out. So Speaking of the third thing, then, when do we get to see you?
We're hoping, you know, being a band our size still, because like obviously, you know, we just got it out there, and with Frankie, we originally were only going to drop Dead Inside as a single, and then we all were like, you know what? Like we took the budget that we were putting together for the single release and just pumped it all towards an album and rented out a studio the whole month of January. And in the hopes of we get this record now, I've wanted to go on tour my whole life. That's been my dream. And the day and age of it's just so financially difficult for a band our size still unsigned and trying to get, you know, we're looking at doing some like an LA show. We're looking at doing something in Vegas because we're based out of Arizona and just aiming to kind of grow from there. I keep saying, because everyone will always ask us like, come here. I'm like, as soon as we get that first opportunity, we are there. So if anyone's listening or you want us, you know, if you play in a band or you put on shows and you want us to come to your city, like DM us. Like if we can do it, we will. Because that's been my dream my whole life, is get to travel the world and play music. And the bug bit me really young, just going to shows and watching bands do this and at all sorts of levels. And that's been my whole life since I was a little kid. I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to be on the road. I want to be performing music and meeting people from all over the world.
Yeah. You're a fellow junkie, and we appreciate that.
Oh man, you know, if you aren't, if you don't eat, sleep, and breathe it, what are you doing?
Yeah. That's
Right.
that's
You know,
that's the beauty of
and
that's the beauty of music. Like nobody mandates it, right? There's no law out there, or there's no certification or college. Oh, there's music colleges, but there's no mandate to produce bands. It's just people do it because they love it, because they would do it for no money, because you do it for no money for a very long time. Matter of fact, no money would be winning. It's actually negative monies a lot to start out with, which people don't realize. So, and we've talked about it on the show before, like not the multi-million-dollar payouts, while they would be great and are cool, is not even the only thing, or even sometimes the best things about music, right? Like you said, the people that you meet, the relationships that you build, and what it does for your life outside of the finances, whether that ever materializes or not. And I'm speaking from experience. It's
Right.
so fucking worth it.
For me, the first tour I ever went on, I was a kid. I think I was like 16 or 15. I don't remember. It was a small little week and a half, stint tour. But God, I learned so much from that. I came back so like just disillusioned by it all. You're like, man, this is tough work. It's expensive. I didn't make any money. I loved it. Let's go. I want to do it again. You want to learn hard work, dedication, commitment, finances, humiliation, the highest of highs and the lowest of lows all at once. Be in a band, go play a few shows, and you're ready to go. Do it. And then when we got, so I was out 2019. My band, my former band At My Mercy, we went out on a tour. We were out for 2.5 months. I think it was 2 months, 2.5 months. And the first major leg of the tour was with Famous Last Words, Dayshell, Awake at Last, and then us. And there's certain tiers for touring. I think the first real tier of touring is you get out there, you got your weekend warriors, where you've got like maybe a 4-day run where you're doing maybe 2 shows in 2 different cities, or maybe you're booking like a week out and you've got 3 shows within a span of 5 days or something like that. Like that's really the first real like taste of touring. And then you get into like the 2-week mark, or longer. The longer you're out, the less you really remember what your everyday life was before, and you kind of just become that person on the road. And so like being out for that long, I learned that it takes a lot of resilience for you to be able to wake up every morning in a different city for that many days straight, and be able to get up and do it at that major capacity. And the more you do it with your bandmates, the tighter you will be. By the start of tour, man, that it might sound great, but it's not going to sound as good as you do by the end of tour, because you guys have shaked off all the rust, and you're playing at the best you've ever played. And for me, I learned that's one of the major lessons that I learned, and I can't wait to get out there with these guys and really help them, kind of teach them the things I learned along the way on their first tour.
I've been working in live music since 2019 at a venue out here in Phoenix, Arizona. And I used to do backstage stuff, and every single day, every show day, different bands coming in, different levels, vans or buses or bandwagons. And something that I would always do is just ask, usually not the artist, because I wasn't communicating with them, but like TMs or just merch people, and just like any tips that you got, or, just pretty much any information, because I'm all about it. I'm here. I'm a sponge. I soak up all the information I possibly can. And just cool hearing all the different stories, even like drivers, bus drivers, truck drivers, like people that have been on the road with the biggest of people, or, the smallest, and just the stories
so cool.
and that they've been able to, to give me, or, any help. And so I'm excited to put all my knowledge to test one day. And, my goal is to tour the world. So.
Matt,
please.
did you want to check in? I know you've been patiently waiting.
I love that hat and that shirt, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much.
Dude, this is like Mark said at the start. Me and him have been talking. Like I discovered Buried in Darkness on Twitter, and
that's awesome.
Mark personally messaged me from the band page to thank me for sharing out that music. You know, that's how fresh out they were. And dude, it's been a joy to see you grow.
Thank you. I
Like,
mean,
see-
you as well. Like, you know, I
Yeah,
remember
like, you know, I was talking to you before I became part of the sound, and, you know, we've sort of been going back and forth and growing together and stuff. And, you know, Break Me, that was great. And I was like, these guys are good. And, you know, your social media presence seemed pretty well. And you pretty much got that nailed down now. And it's little things like that when you message someone, like it makes them a bit more of a longer term fan, you know? It's that personal experience that you've got to give those fans as an up and coming band.
100%. And like,
Yeah.
it's just also, I mean, it's the same thing of just wanting to communicate with someone and just personally, like I was saying earlier, everybody's busy. We all got the same 24 hours, and someone's going to take that time out of their day to listen to our, like, care about something that we're doing. And to me, like, all of us in this band, we pour our heart and souls into every single thing and fund this thing completely ourselves. So it's such a reward when someone actually will comment or just, you know, listen to our music and we see a comment or we hear someone just reply to a message, because, you know, it's a grind. Social media, like when we're trying to get someone or, like, you know, try and get our music out there and we just put ourselves out there, you know, the hate that you get versus like the good stuff that, like, the positive things that you get back is, you know, tenfold. So it's really refreshing to be able to tap in with that fan base, and like we call it family, because we truly look at you guys as like we couldn't be doing this without you. And you guys are, you know, especially, you know, the sound, you guys are a champion for up and coming bands, and most people, most publications, most radio, like, they don't care. So the fact that you guys have your ear to the street and you're caring and you're fostering a whole scene you guys are doing very important work. So for us and just bands all together and fans, the people that are in these comments right now that are tuned into your platform, you guys are raising and like witnessing the next generation of a scene coming up.
Well, I can tell you that everybody on this live stream on our end right now, it's exactly what you just said. I mean, this is a labor of love. I mean, thank God that the internet has this capability nowadays for us to be able to talk to guys, you know, like you guys, and keep our ear to the street of what's coming up new, because we just fucking love it. Like, I don't care about like money, finances, or whatever. I just want to go to a bar and see a cool band play, and I want to catch them early. Like, I don't want to. I mean, I'll go see you in an arena. Don't get me wrong. I want to go see Pantera right now, but like, I would much rather catch you in a 200 person, 500 person club than that, you know, and then be able to talk to you after the show.
100%. Yep. That's the coolest part, like the intimacy of a club show. Because everyone says like, oh, I wish I discovered them younger, but like, or like when like they're brand new, but that same person they're not going to the local clubs, or they're not, you know, keeping their, but you know.
I got one for you. You can go on YouTube right now and you can look up Rage Against the Machines. I don't know what you got, like first live performance or something. And I think they're playing at like UC Berkeley, somewhere in California.
Yeah.
And it's the first record. There's not much different. It sounds exactly like it does on the record live, but nobody knows who they are. And people are on a college campus and they're just walking by, you know, and no fault of their own. I mean, they probably like late for class. I'm not judging them, but like, you're watching this, you're like, do you understand how fucking good this music is that you're walking right past, you know? It's amazing. And so that's happening in clubs all over the country all the time. Some bands, you know, aren't that great and don't make it, and some bands are. So I want to be there when the ones that are, and I know bands that are that good that don't make it, you know, so I want to see everything in between.
Yeah. The greatest guitarist is somewhere in his basement. Like, the greatest band is like, no one's heard of them.
That's
and
right.
It's kind of funny when you tell someone you're in a band and they haven't heard of you, most of the time they think you suck. And then they'll like listen to you, like, they're shocked, like, you guys are actually good.
It's
like,
funny. I'll tell people,
you know?
you know, like my coworkers would be like, well, yeah, they'll be like, oh, you're in a band? I'm like, yeah, I'm in a band. And they're like, oh, really? I didn't know you could do this stuff, you know? I'm like, yeah, I didn't either. Listen to it. Let me know what you think, you know? And usually you never know. Like, you never know what anybody's going to show you when you say that to them. You know, they're going to think it's bad or whatever. But I want your honest opinion. If you know, if you're coming to me like, oh, you're in a band, yeah, I want to know what you think. Please tell me. You know, because if it's
no, go ahead.
Because if it's your thing, like, you know, awesome. I want you to be a part of it with me, and I want you to celebrate the journey with me, you know. But and if not, if you're not into it and you listen to it and you're like, wow, man, I thought that was gonna suck, but it didn't. That was good. Then cool.
It's like, obviously we're not everybody's cup of tea. You gotta, you know, but you know, it really funny story, real fast. Sorry, we were at ASU doing some street team stuff for our show coming up on September 2nd on this Saturday. And we were just, you know, going around putting posters around, and we decided to go to a bar and have a little midday pick-me-up drink. And there's this like 11-year-old kid there just drinking Dr. Pepper, just like talking shit to everyone at the bar. And we asked the bartender, like, who is this kid? Like, is he even allowed to be in here? She's like, yeah, he's just a local kid. He's sweet, but yeah, he's got a little bit of mouth to him. So we're all chilling. We're like, hey, check out our band. Let us know what you think, if we suck or not. Because, like, you know,
he'll tell you.
Yeah.
He'll tell us. Yeah, exactly why I said it. I was like, hey, man, hey, just check us out. Let me know what you think, dude, because I really want to know what you guys think. You know, like
the kids, man. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
He listened to it right there at the bar, and all the people around him that were drunk were like, you know, watching it with him and stuff. But he liked it, and he told us, he was like, this is really good. Like, wow, I thought you guys, you know, he's like, this is really good. He commented on it, and then we were like, yeah, you know, we had some stickers we were passing out and stuff, and we gave him like, you know, 20 stickers, and we were like, yeah, man, spread them out, you know, spread the word. And we roll out of the bar like 20 minutes later, and they're slapped all over, you know, freaking light poles and you know, and then we bumped into him. He's like, oh yeah, I've been putting them everywhere, on cars, everywhere. We're like, oh no, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. So, you know,
he's gonna be like the next generation's like Fred Durst or something.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I know Kevin's got
guerrilla marketing.
Yeah, for real. I know Kevin's got the music, your video queued up. Is that right, Kevin?
I do. Dead Inside.
Man.
Yeah. So I think we should check that out. Let the people hear it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's go.
Here we go. Hell yeah, them vocals ain't bad.
All right.
Right. For a non-vocalist, I think you pretty much nailed it.
Well, definitely adding that to the Power Hour this week.
There you go.
Yeah,
So
thank
good.
you.
Thank you.
That's fucking killer right there. That hit me in the feels.
Thank you.
It's hype.
Yeah. Fun fact, we shot that music video in 118 degrees, literally the entire
no AC.
The entire time, man.
You were in Mississippi?
Phoenix, man.
Even fucking
you got more humidity out there. It's a dry heat here, man.
Yeah. When you sweat in Phoenix, apparently it makes you get cooler. Is that right? Because in Mississippi, when you sweat, you just get fucking wet while you sweat.
For about a couple seconds, you know, you want to run around to get a draft, you know, to get the sweat a little, you know.
Nope. Here, when you sweat, it just brings the heat in closer to you.
Yeah.
It's more suffocating.
Yes.
Permeates.
Lisa knows you were down here in July.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's not a place I would want to vacation.
No, not when it's that bad during the summer. Yeah.
No, but I think you guys really nailed it. I mean, and Jared, I would encourage you to listen to the whole album. There's a lot of tracks on there that I think you would really enjoy.
Definitely.
Me, Jared, and Matt are definitely into the heavier side of things. So
I listened to Never Change, I think is what I was listening to.
Right on,
yeah, this one is a lot more brutal, which is way more up my alley.
Yeah, that riff is amazing.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah. We really wanted to try, like, for us, any band with their first album, it's kind of an important time for a band. Everyone's trying to find their sound and stuff. And, you know, we don't want to be one of those bands that's just like one thing, you know. We don't want to be like super, you know, heavy or super like radio or super pop, or, you know, we just kind of want to, the things we like about the music we love, we want to take that and just incorporate it into something that, you know, we would want to listen to, and hopefully you guys do too, you know. And so it's a pretty diverse record, I would say. We've got a decent portion of it is some singing songs where there's more singing, and then there's a real heavy portion of the record where it's just, you know, angry.
It's also, when we were writing, like, the record is about most like mental health struggles and, you know, toxic relationships and just inner turmoil kind of things. So
struggles.
The record kind of, but it has like resolve in it. It's not all just like hate and negative and like upset, like angry vibes. So there's a lot, of emotions that went into it. All of us, we locked ourselves in a room for a whole month together writing this record, and we were all had things that we were struggling with personally, which is, you turn that, you turn all that dark shit into something beautiful. And that's how you create art in all aspects. You just take the struggle, the struggling musician vibe of, pain and suffering, and you turn
tortured artist.
Tortured art. That's what I'm going for.
You take the turd and you turn it into a beautiful flower.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, life's really sucking right now. Let's write a song,
Yeah.
Well, everybody, like the first record for any band is, it's usually like slinging paint on a wall and kind of seeing what happens. And then
right.
either your second record is absolutely dog shit, or it's like it evolves some kind of way. I was like, oh, I see what you did over here. And then you went over here, and that's really cool, and then the progression is there. So
Yep.
I love to catch a band, obviously, by nature of the show that we have here at the beginning, right? Like that to me is like, it's just whatever they threw at the wall, whatever they were feeling. There's no money involved usually. It's just, here's what we do,
Right.
and that's what makes it so fucking cool.
And it's something that we all believe in so much, because like all of us, we pay into it equally. Like we all own this this company. What it is like, it's all equal. So everybody's a team player. It wouldn't be possible without every single member of this band. And even our producer, Ryan Damonson, because he took all of our crazy ideas and really made it into something that's like, he listened to us and didn't shut us down on stuff and just heard us out, and couldn't be more proud of the product that we came up with.
And he's always been there for me on my musical journey since I was, 14 or 15. That's when I met Brian. And, so I worked a lot of years with that guy, having him kind of mold me and showing me the ropes, and hey, like, oh dude, you're doing a great job, or you need to do this, you need to do that. The stuff that I've done for these guys, he did for me. And to be able for me to kind of circle back to a new beginning on this musical journey, I wanted to start that back up with him, because I knew he could help me bring the best of myself out, because he'd always done that before with being in a band as a guitarist. And so
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, we got a lot.
Kevin, what were you gonna say?
Do what?
You look like you wanted to say something.
I do, but not about this.
Yeah, I was like, you just face palmed. I'm like, I hope that's about his
Speak your
computer.
minds, whatever it is.
No, it's all good. No. I was so you listen and you multitask at the same time. So
Yeah.
you got multi things going on, and then something happened. I was like,
You're like, oh no, yeah.
Oh damn.
Oh, okay.
But, we're just grateful for, Ryan's gotten to work with some extremely big bands like Asking Alexandria, Memphis Mayfire, The Word Alive. So for him to, take us under his wing and kind of teach us the ropes, and same with, Frankie, and I kind of consider Ryan as my grandpa, because Frankie wouldn't be here without Ryan, and I wouldn't be here without Frankie. So he's like my metal grandpa.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
Well, where are we siphoning people to, man? What's Facebook, is that your channel that you're most active on? I think that's kind of the consensus with most bands that we talk to.
Honestly, we're most active on Instagram. So we have like our Instagram and Facebook like connected. So we're active on every single one, but definitely
Instagram gets more love, I believe.
Yeah.
Instagram, and then we funnel a lot more of like our video content stuff into TikTok, but everything gets the same stuff. But we get a lot more of our stuff gets posted to Instagram first, and then funneled over to Facebook.
Algorithmically, TikTok is the best way to find new fans and just be connected with new people. And then like kind of the tier list is then Instagram, and then Facebook and Twitter are not super algorithmically friendly to us.
They're not, and kind of keeping with the tempo and the philosophy of tonight. I kind of want to touch on what you guys both just said. There was like 2 to 3 episodes in a row, and I don't remember what the numbers were, where I asked that same question. Where are you most active on socials? And like 3 episodes in a row, the bands listed their website, and I thought that was super kick ass. And I'll tell you why. It's because, like you mentioned, the algorithms, right? Obviously, TikTok right now is where, if you want to cast a large net, that's where you should be. And you have to figure out how to do it and how to do it creatively. And it's not always just your songs. It's like creative content, sharing inside the band stuff or whatever, right?
Yep.
But whether it's Instagram, that's where you guys are at, or Facebook or whatever, however you pull these people in, and I'm talking to like anybody that's watching this right now, if you get them in through TikTok, Facebook, whatever, at some point you need to siphon them over to your website.
Absolutely.
Right? And you need to siphon them over to your email list. That way you can always, and look up at the top of the screen right now, like we have the text community platform. We have all these ways of trying to talk to people direct, to where if Facebook shut down tomorrow or TikTok got banned by the government tomorrow, it would suck for all of us, but at least you would still have this direct connection to the people that already like you.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a great point to bring up is, one thing I know of a lot of bands don't think of is an emailing list. And it's not really until you get on the tour slot of this.
Well, it's not sexy, right? It's not really sexy.
Right. I don't want to ask you for your email, but hey, you know what? Like at the end of the day, I think that's probably the like you guys said, the most direct way with what you guys do. It's the same thing. Like if I can get your email and then I can sit here and let you know, hey, guess what? We're gonna release a song before we tell anybody else, or hey, guess what? Here's a piece of content just for you for being awesome.
And here's the thing too. Here's something that can kind of pay off if you're fucking lazy. And let me explain, right? If you get there, and we're great at this, like with the tech, with the text platform, which is right above. You can text us the sound 228-641-1648. We don't spam on it because we know not to, but also because we're fucking got other shit going on and we forget to do it a lot. If you get somebody's email and you're not sending them an email every single friggin' day or twice a week or 3 times a week with some bullshit offer or some bullshit, hey, look at this post or look at what we did, people get tired of that. But if when you email them, it's legit, hey, here's our new song or here's our new shirt, and by the way, you get 15% off because you're through our email list, and we appreciate you being part of this community. They'll open the shit and they'll like it, a text message, whatever, and it's more real.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's all about not being spam, because like the worst thing that you can ever see is like you get a message and it's just copy paste and you're like, this is so, this is just spam. Like sometimes it'll just go straight into the message request. I know all of us could probably, if we go check our message requests, it's just all these bots, come promote on this or whatever. But exactly, just something that a direct line of communication that you can reward your fans or people that support you. It's all because we wouldn't be here without them. So we want to make sure to give back to the people that care the most about us.
I just know nowadays a lot more things are put on the artist's plate, right, to have to manage, especially in the early stages. And this is one of the ones where being a procrastinator or a little bit lackadaisical as far as what you pump out can be to your benefit. So take that for what it's worth, all you people out there on the interwebs.
Some free game.
Yeah.
All right. So if we were going to go ahead and post up your socials, you'd want us to post up your Instagram?
Yeah. So just
Instagram or website.
Yeah. Bury the Darkness on Instagram, Bury the Darkness on TikTok. We're websites, burythedarkness.com. Pretty much across all platforms, we're Bury the Darkness, except for Twitter, we're Bury Darkness, because Bury the Darkness was taken and the guy would not answer my DM trying to buy it from him. So
yeah, we had money, dude. We were going to spend money, but you didn't want it.
and even that, like you were talking about earlier, just that, it bites us in the ass sometimes, because I'll see on like Reddit or something like that, on like our metalcore forums, it'll be like Bury Darkness, new single, and I'm like, just that one little thing. Now the rumor's spreading.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. That goes back to like what Lisa said earlier, keeping the imaging consistent across all platforms. I mean, it does suck, but even the biggest of bands do that, and you could even probably go back and change your URL to like Bury the Darkness band or official, to where at least it's all the same at the front, and then the back end is just what's slightly different.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny because what Lisa, you work in social media. I work in social media as well, and I work for, I do music industry stuff, and when I'm trying to hunt down bands and it's just all different across all platforms, it makes you want to pull my hair out sometimes. You're like, all right, Just go into their website, just open tabs on all of these.
Dude,
Here's
before
the
we started
problem.
before we started this podcast, I had hair just like you. So that's
Oh no!
You know
what
what I'm
happened?
just pulled it all out, bro. So just be aware.
It's a stressful industry we're in.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is.
We signed
And
up for it.
if you're not consistent across all platforms and I'm trying to play your music or tag your band for something and I can't find you literally within 10 seconds, guess what's happening? You're
On to
not
the
being
next.
tagged.
Yeah.
Not hunting you down like where's Waldo? Not my
Like we
problem.
said.
That's a you problem.
Put the roster up there and put your hometowns on it. So
Yes.
that helps out a shit
Simple.
ton.
Or a link tree.
Very.
God forbid.
Yep.
A link tree. What is that?
It's a landing page for all of your, you can link
No.
your website. All
That was
He
a
was being
rhetorical question.
facetious.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
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 Well,
Can we
a lot
have
of
one?
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
For us.
They don't get it.
They don't
Well,
get
gentlemen,
it.
we appreciate y'all
Yeah.
tonight, and
Yeah.
love the tune that we played tonight. Love the video. Thank you for taking the time to put the fucking work in and make the visual side of things look good. I know all of us appreciate that. You guys know, I mean, it's part of the digital world we live in. So good luck to you, and keep us in the loop about the live stuff, the concerts,
Absolutely,
the
of
live
course.
shows.
Yeah, so we've got we've got a couple shows actually in the books right now. So we've got our album release on September 2nd, and then we've got another show we're going to be opening up for an awesome band named Decayer on, I believe it's
September
September
13th.
September
I've been playing those guys on my show.
Decayer, yeah,
through
they're
the app.
awesome
through-
dudes, man.
Decayer,
Yes.
Salt Wound.
I think that tonight our In the Pit show, Brent
Yeah.
Kreiner is playing Decayer.
They're
That's
fucking-
awesome. Yeah.
They are heavy.
Oh,
yeah.
they're good,
We're
man.
stoked to throw down with them. And
Yep.
we have some amazing opportunities coming up. We're actually doing, we're playing at the amphitheater out here on the VIP stage for Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper on September 24th.
Nice.
And then Avenged Sevenfold, Falling in Reverse, and Kim Dracula on October 8th. So
Yeah.
we're
Sweet.
stoked.
Well,
Nice.
look, when y'all are out there, we've asked bands before. When y'all are out there, man, if it comes up in conversation, throw our name out there and let bands know like we're open invitation. We want to talk to all these people, and we just want to promote everything in that game. So help us spread the word too.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, we're a community, man. And like, we're not here. We're like, obviously it's a competitive business, but we want all of our friends to win. If you're putting your heart and soul into making a good product, like you deserve the recognition and you deserve everything that comes to you. So we're an open book. Like we answer every single DM. Like we hope no one's ever afraid.
They
Like,
do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Metal bands always portray this image of being all angry and scary, but like to be honest, we're all fucking teddy bears.
Yeah, I'm a
so,
sweetheart.
like-
If you reach out to me and you want to talk, let's talk. You
like,
know, what I mean,
but we're just grateful to be able to do this and make music and be able to talk to great people like you, and it really makes everything worth it in the end, because it's not easy being in a band. As you can ask anyone, it's a grind. So just being able to talk about it, have people be interested in what we're doing, it means the world. So thank you.
yeah. This
No, I was gonna say, ladies and gents, in the comments, if y'all aren't already following these guys, man, go check them out. Hit that smash the like button and give them a follow.
Let us know what your favorite song is. Let
Yeah.
us know what city you're in, and we keep all that. And I got a list of like, when people tell us come to this city, I'll go and like look up the venues and stuff and see if it's possible one day. That's what we're trying to do.
we will go to Brazil
I've already-
someday. We promise. We will come to Brazil.
I've already
right?
told you where I want you, Mark. UK, baby.
Oh man, I would love that. Go out, maybe that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That's definitely. I've never been to Europe. I've never had the opportunity to leave the States. So I honestly would rather tour Europe than the US. But
Yeah.
I'll take whatever I can get.
I've got a couple
Beggars
friends
can't
and
be
some
choosers.
bands out there. Maybe we can work something out. It'd be awesome to get out there.
Let me know.
Killer.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you
Um,
for having us.
We appreciate you. And like Jared said, keep us posted. Good luck, man. Good luck on your shows this weekend.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Thank you so much.
Have a great
You're
night.
very welcome.
Later.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Good, guys.